Okay, real quick, I wanted to talk about this Pioneer Plasma TV that I've got here. It's the Pioneer Elite Series, and I believe it's a PRO-111FD is the model number. And I want to talk about this blinking blue light on this one. This can have a failure of a blinking red or a blinking blue light. 8 blue blinks. And I'm going to show you one thing that specifically addresses 8 blue blinks on one of these Pioneer Plasma TVs. So specifically on this Pioneer Plasma, we want to look at one of the voltage regulator ICs on the jack board. That's the board that's located right here. And the voltage regulator we're going to be looking at is up underneath. You can't quite see it because this little interface board is in the way, but it's up underneath here. I'll get a better view of it and show it to you here. Okay, so here's the little IC regulator right in here. And what we're interested in, it's actually labeled IC7951. And what we want to look at with our voltmeter is pin 4. There's also a little test point right here that you can put your probe on to check that voltage. And what we want to see on that probe, on that test point, is about 1.8 volts when we start the set. We also want to look at the input voltage of this IC and make sure we have our input voltage. So because it's so small, I'm just going to show you the voltmeter as I test these things. Okay, so I'm looking at pin 2 right now. That is the input voltage to the IC regulator, and I want to see about 3.3 volts on it before the set goes into shutdown. Now I'm going to take a look at pin 4, which is the output. I'm going to use that little test pad on that. Virtually no voltage whatsoever. So the next step I'm going to do is go ahead and replace that IC regulator on that circuit board. Just for reference, the part number on this board, this one is the AWW1353. You can see they mark it by attaching this little resistor as to note which part number it is. Had it had a resistor added there, it would be a 1355, or if it had it up here, it would be a 1352. But I suspect that those are virtually the same boards. They may even use the same part, so this repair may hold true for other models as well as the PRO-111FD. So now to remove the chip, I'm going to use this little portable. It's made by Weller called a Pyro Pin, and it has a very small little 1mm tip on the end of it. Don't know if you can see that or not, but it's a little hot air blower, and it blows out about 1,000-degree air, which is really nice. It works really awesome for doing surface mount work. I like it better than a rework station just because it's so portable. I can take it with me, and no cords, no anything attached to it. You can hear it hissing. That's the gas. It has a little gas container, so you just light it. And the tip, if you look down inside there, you can usually see it glowing red. It has a little catalytic converter built into it. So it's just a matter of heating up the body of the chip. Usually takes about 30 seconds. Just move it around. Oop. It's ready to go. Lift the chip right off. Just that simple. Now I'm just going to reflow these pads real quick to make sure they're nice and shiny, ready to go. I'll reflow all the solder down below it here. Next I've got a flux pin. It's a Kester flux pin. There's the part number for it. So I'm going to add some fresh flux to the circuit board. Flux always helps the solder flow a lot better. It makes it wetter, so it makes it flow much easier. Next I'm just going to take my new part, and I'm just going to place it just as closely as I can to where it needs to go. Now I'm going to take my soldering iron and I'm just going to add some solder to one of the pins. That will semi-hold it in place. I'm going to get it to the position that I want it to be in. And then I'm going to begin heating the IC up. Primarily the tab, I want the solder to melt. And I'm going to heat this one up kind of slowly. This is going to be probably some heating time with some editing of the video before it actually gets hot enough here. So it's been probably about 30 seconds now. There we go, the tab just dropped. That looks very good. It's soldered into place without ever actually touching the chip to push it down to the circuit board. All the pins took solder very well because of the flux that I added to it. Now we will go ahead and put it back in the TV and test it. Okay, well it's kind of hard to see, but I've got the voltmeter down here and I've got the new IC in here. Put my probe on the output test pin. Fire the unit up. And as you can see, we have 1.792 volts on it. So that's not going into shutdown now. There we go. I don't have a signal hooked up to the TV, but there's the menu on it, so you can see that the menu does work. The set is on. The power LED is on solid blue at this point, so I believe this is going to be a good solid repair on this model. Alright, well there's the set up and running. Programming the channels into it right now to make sure everything works okay. Hope you enjoyed this quick little video on replacing that regulator, 1.8 volt regulator IC on the jack board to repair the 8 blue blinks. I appreciate your views, your comments, your support. Answer as many as I possibly can, but as always, I can't answer every single one, unfortunately. You can follow me on Twitter at NorCal715. Everybody have a great day, and with your help, we can keep these things out of the landfill, out of the recycle box. Bye-bye.